What? Space?
Yeah, you were like, you have to give it some, what was it, spice or space? What did you say?
Space.
Oh
Space.
my God. So guys,
Hey,
all of you who are watching, Brett and me have been friends forever and ever. He's one of my closest friends and I absolutely adore him and I love him. But I can never get his accent right. There are so many times we talk and then I have to like say, can you say that again and again? So I thought you said spice. So I was like,
no,
what spice?
I have the
All
same
right.
problem, guys, so don't worry.
So I saw something amazing and I have to show it to you. And I want to know, like, really? That's so cool.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Yep. That was when
That
I
is,
was,
so that's Bretinder Singh Lee.
yeah, that was in
But
Amritsar, the Golden Temple, and I went up there with Cochlear, and because their colours, it's an Australian company, and their colour is, I'm the global hearing ambassador, which I'm proud to do, and we're helping a lot of kids here in India, and their colour is yellow, so they put me in this beautiful yellow, the full kit,
agreed.
yeah, and put the turban on, which is, gee, you can't, like, literally, I'm over here to bring awareness for hearing loss, but when you got that on your head, it's really hard. It is honestly hard to hear.
So
So,
why don't you say something in Hindi or Punjabi, please?
Sat Shri
And
Akal
not
ji,
bad words.
of course. Sat Shri Akal,
Sat Sri Akal, kya haal chal hai
Namaste,
ਤੁਹਾਡਾ?
Namaste. So my Hindi is Tora. My Punjabi is probably worse, but
No, your
you,
Punjabi is fantastic.
you
You said
need you need to get back into it. You know, I always went for punch wicket. You know, always want to take 5 wickets. Never happened for
yes.
Kings 11, though. I'm sorry, boss.
Oh, you did great for us. Don't worry. I
I
mean,
let I let the owner down.
no, but you know, I have to tell you this. Like, people always ask me, like, I learned cricket in the first year of the IPL onwards. I mean, that's when I really learned cricket. I mean, I grew up from 2008 in the cricket stadium because I knew very, very little. But I must say the one thing that I really admired was one day I came, this was during practice and the stadium was empty. Tom Moody and was there and there was Trevor Penny. And I
That's
came
it.
and I
Yeah,
saw you with that one
stump.
stump, sorry. And you were practicing and I kept saying, what's he doing? Like, I don't understand. And Trevor was like, oh, he wants to get the middle stump for, who was it? It was the Sri Lankan player from Mumbai. I forgot. I'm so...
Not Mahela Joe Wardner.
No,
Sakakara.
Mahila was in
No.
our team.
I
He
know
was in
that's why
Mumbai.
I thought, yeah.
He was in Mumbai. The Mumbai player. Oh, Sanat
So
Jasriya.
Joseph,
Yes.
yeah.
And he's like, he's practicing to get the middle stump for Sanat. And I was like, oh, and I didn't really get it. But then when we saw the game, you got him on the middle stump. And I was like, wow, that's dedication. And I was so
That's
impressed.
that was a
Like, I
fluke
always
for
thought
thanks.
cricket was so easy, you know. I was like, all right, whatever, you know. I mean, it's just like you throw the ball and you hit the stump, or you hit. And that's when I realized there's so much skill, there's so much other stuff. And I mean, we were friends, but that's the day I became your fan, and I had so much more respect for you. So I just
Well,
wanted to
thank
say
you.
that because
Well,
you know.
I've got to tell all the fans too that your cricket knowledge has skyrocketed. The last 12 years has been outstanding. You know, you're talking about outswingers and bouncers and slow balls and bowling Yorkers.
I'm
Very
still
impressive.
learning, Brett, and I'm actually learning more from obviously watching the game, but also from most of the cricketers. Like, I mean, remember I used to chew your brains and ask you a million questions. Trevor Penny taught me a lot, actually.
Yeah, he's good.
And Gilly taught me a lot. Dhoni is somebody who I learned a lot from because he would always dissect the game with me, and even Shane Warne. So yes, I mean, you know, I mean, I still have a long, long way to go to learn about it, but I do enjoy it now a lot more.
I still
And
remember the time when remember I think it was the first or the second game and Tom Moody being our coach and Yuvraj Singh was batting. He's batting in that sort of middle order, and we got off to a bit of a slow start in the first or the second match, and something had happened, and then you'd walk down from sitting up in the red seat above us in the grandstand, and they came down to Tom Moody and said, "Why don't you get Yuvraj Singh in?" Someone must have told you to go down, being one of the owners, to say, "Hey, get down there and speak to the coach." And Tom goes, with all due respect, you worry about the franchise, I'll try and coach the team. And then that bond with you guys then just was knitted, because you didn't understand that doesn't happen in cricket. I mean, you never have an owner come down. Well, we never had owners in cricket, period. So everyone's learning about the game and no one knew what to do. But it's hilarious. You came down and said, "Get him up the order." So you were our coach for the day as well.
Oh, barely, please. I learned this website. I learned mouthshut.com.
There you go.
I was like, it's better to zip it, because I
Solves
was
every
learning
problem.
too. And I learned I genuinely thought all right, what's the big deal? It's a game, bat, ball, and these guys running around. But then to learn, it's about the pitch, it's about dew, it's about, there's so many other things. And I did, by the way, find out that the knuckleball comes from baseball.
Yep. There's a lot of terms that come from baseball. Yeah, there's a lot of different skills that bowlers use that are used in baseball, a long time before us. So the different sliders, might be an in-swinger or an out-swinger, different terminology, but the same, and even the way that they used to hold a ball sometimes, they would hold it in their hand and lift up the fingers, and that's how a bowled a slower ball actually had, I don't have a cricket ball on me, but they used to sometimes, make like a circle and throw the ball, and I lift up two fingers and made up my own sort of, bowling action and different way to let go of the ball. So yeah, baseball's got a lot to do with, helping cricket, for sure.
Yeah, because I was in America and I was bragging to everybody and saying, "Oh, one of the best knuckleballs is Zaheer Khan in our team who does it." And they were like, "1 second." They were like, "1 second. Knuckleballs come out of baseball." And I'm like, "Absolutely not. It's come from Zaheer Khan." And they were like, "Absolutely not." And we're like, "All right, let's look it up." And then I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Every day you learn something new. So, which is kind of cool, because baseball has come from cricket, I think, in some ways, because they're kind of so similar. Okay, so let's not talk about cricket now. Let's talk about, because I can see a lot of people saying, "Hey, please ask him to say something in Hindi. Please tell something about the knuckleball." Oh my God, I just read somebody talking about the knuckleball. So you did...
Namaste to all the Sundar ladkis. Aap kaise hai? Hello to the guys too.
The ladkis. But what about the guys? What do you want to say to the guys?
All the Sonakuris, isn't it, in Punjabi?
Soni Kudi, yes. You're dirty girl. And don't kill me for outing you on this, but you have to, please don't kill me for this, but you have to say the Khargosh story.
You love this story. So for people that, when I first started playing for Australia and I'm playing against India, and I'm a rubbish batsman, so I was batting at either number 9 or 10 or 11 sometimes, and I'd go out to bat, and the batsmen, they make it look so easy. They're hitting the ball around the field, and I'm struggling to hit the ball. It actually felt like I was batting with the stump in my hand sometimes. And the Indian boys, I could just hear them saying, "Come on, boys, let's get Karagosh out." I said, what the hell are they saying? I knew they were sledging me, but I didn't know what they were saying. So then my friend, I rang him up, who's Indian, and I said, "What is Karagosh?" He goes, "Oh, Karagosh. It means a rabbit. It means like a bunny, like you're rubbish at batting." So I said, okay. So I said, "Teach me some lovely Hindi words in inverted commas," which we won't, obviously, there might be some kids listening in, so I won't exactly say what I did say, but I went out there, I said, "Look, I'd rather be a Karagosh than a such and such," and they were like,
beep, 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 beep.
Beep, 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 and they were like, and they couldn't believe it. I spoke to them and sledged them back in Hindi, but that's fun, it wasn't anything derogatory or racially driven, just fun, and that's what sport's about.
I know, but I just think it's kind of funny that somebody called you a Khargosh.
Khargosh.
That's because you were batting at number 8, right?
Well, that's been generous. About number 10, I think I was.
Batting
so if you called a bunny, it means you're a bad, like the tail. You're rubbish at batting. If someone calls you a bunny, it's You know,
Khargosh, really?
it's not a term of endearment. Put it that way. It's a derogatory
Okay.
term towards a cricketer.
Okay, now I have to tell you a really, really funny story.
Here
I
we
don't know
go.
if I've told you this, but of course, you know Jean, and
Yeah.
you guys are really fond of each other. But too many people didn't know about Jean. Of course, I told you and all my friends about him.
Yeah.
But I hadn't really spoken about him because I didn't want to advertise my relationship, whatever. So when we knew we were going to get married, we decided we were going to have an Indian wedding. And since we're Rajputs, my dad always said, like, I want to have a Rajput wedding for you. And so I wanted him to get this typical Rajput outfit. So we went to Raghuvinder's Ratore's store in Mumbai. And both of us go in, Jean and me, and we make him try on these kurtas, and he's kind of trying, and he's not getting in the pajama, the bottom. And he's like... So the woman looks at him, and I was like, don't you have bigger pajamas? And she's like, no, ma'am, this is the biggest size we have. And she's like, don't worry, it's okay. Even Dhoni doesn't fit into our pajamas. He's got big calves. So Jean started laughing, and he's like, oh, I got calves like Dhoni. And he was just laughing. She's like, but all cricketers, I understand all cricketers are like this. And I said, cricketers? She's like, yeah. So I pointed at Jean, and I said, so who's he? And she goes, Brackley.
Oh, no.
I was like, no. And Jean's like, oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Jean's like, everyone's so racist. You see a white
Poor
guy
Jean.
and you think everyone's like the same. And I'm like,
just because he's a god or a Farangi.
Yeah, but it was so funny because,
and
sometimes
brilliant.
when he comes to the cricket, Jean, he gets like, people will ask him, are you a cricketer? And he's just like putting... It's just like sometimes people will ask him, like, you
should pick him as like just a honourable sort of 13th man or something. Get him in the dugout.
Oh my God, please!
Why not?
Though he is, I think, no. But like honestly speaking, he was never a cricket fan. But after coming here, he always tells everybody that cricket is definitely more fun than baseball because it's more dynamic. Yeah. And I really hope it gets more popular in America because, I mean, it'll be awesome. Though, I mean, they have so many sports there, but, it would be really, really nice if...
Well, I reckon we're in for a huge tournament, and I'm obviously over with Star Sports, so I love, working on the tournament, covering it from Mumbai. We're doing the dugout, which would be a lot of fun, but I reckon the actual viewership, because people can't leave home and they're all in lockdown here in India, I think the actual viewership is going to go through the roof. There'll be a lot more people watching. There'll be a lot more fan engagement. Yes, we won't have, maybe 60, 70,000 people at the ground, but they'll be all at home watching. And I reckon this year's be really, really fierce between all the teams. I reckon it's going to be a huge tournament because it's almost like it's a clean slate. They're not playing in India. They're playing in the UAE where the conditions... And look, there are guys like Rohit Sharma that's played obviously a lot in the UAE and has got a lot of experience there. But it's pretty fair to say all teams have got that even, clean slate. So it's going to be a great series. Where are Kings going to finish? Because I had a bit of a look today in 2014 in the finals. That was the best that you guys have achieved back in 2014. Looking again at, the semis in 2008. You like the even years. 2020. Just saying. Don't check on your water.
Sorry. So the quarantine has made you a little more like, the predictor of your like even years. It's like there's...
Don't go spitting your Tandapani out everywhere all over the camera, right?
So
is this the year? In all honesty, you've got a good team. A great coach with a wealth of knowledge who I've worked with here at Star Sports, Mr. Kumble. So, look, it's a good squad. You happy? You excited?
Oh, I'm very excited. And excited. I'm super excited about two things. Number one, Anil Kumble. He's
Legend.
been just a fantastic player just for India. He's a great leader, and we're very lucky to have him on board. It's also really good to have KL Rahul because he's young, he's very dynamic. It's good to have him lead the team, and
Yep.
he's
Agreed.
a very interesting player because being somebody young, he also has a really good head on his shoulders because last year when I saw him perform, there were a lot of times he was under stress and the game was under stress, and being an opener, he had to, if the wickets were falling, he kind of had to hold the innings till the very end, and he showed a lot of maturity, and it's nice to have Maxi back. He's a really dynamic player.
He's a gun player. He's a gun player.
He's a gun. He's the bomb. So it's great to have him. It's great to have Mayank. It's great to have. There are some absolute new additions in the team. So, I'm kind of really excited to see how they all come through. I haven't seen anybody yet. And the reason I'm sitting in quarantine is because I have to go into the bubble. A lot of people were wondering why I'm in quarantine. If I'm sick, I'm not sick, guys. But there are some really heavy protocols in the IPL to even go near the players, which is the bubble. We have some commercial shoots to do, which I am part of. So I have to go in the bubble. And if I didn't have the shoot, I would not be sitting here. Because
thanks.
So tough. No, what I mean to say is, and hats off to all the players for two things. One, for going through all of these quarantines and, being positive about it. And the other thing is because it's so hot. Oh my God. It's like a sauna. You walk out and like Dubai is really hot.
It's like a tandoori oven.
It's like a tandoori oven, I know. So to play in this heat, and yes, the stadiums are going to be empty, but all the more reason I'm also here because I think this was the year where more than anything else, it's important to support your team. And I think also it's really amazing that the IPL is happening because in some ways it's like, the pandemic came and it kind of pushed us against the wall and kind of everybody fell apart. And in some ways we're all fighting back and saying, you know what, this is our spirit. You can't break our spirit. We will still play. We will still work.
Agreed.
We will still make it happen. And I think that's like the important part. And even for people, everybody needs entertainment. Like my joke was, I finished Hotstar, I finished Netflix, I finished Amazon. Because in these 9 months, I saw everything. I even saw the bad stuff, right? Because I was just like, I was so bored. So I think IPL is going to be, people are going to be, and to all the people out there, guys, support all your teams, support us. And, this year is going to be the digital play because there's going to be nobody in the stadium.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
we know that you're going to be in our hearts, and digitally we're going to do a lot of activations and stuff like this. So it's a new thing. So I'm sure everybody is adapted to it. Now let's go to some of the questions because I don't want to feel like just you and me are just talking away. So
blabbering on like normal.
That's where the match. Okay. So now people are just laughing and sending hearts. But where's your T-shirt number 58, Binga?
Oh, I just got a pen here. I'll just write it on. Okay, back to front. Don't have it. Maybe you should have sent me one for good luck. Back the 2008, the good old days.
All right, we'll send you one
there you
for
go.
sure. And
you send me one, and I'll wear it on Star Sports one night.
All right, I'm sending it to you right now.
There you go.
And
extra large, thanks.
Okay. Okay.
COVID.
Extra large. So, who is the best fielder in India? Somebody has said.
Oh, look, the name Jadeja springs to mind quickly. An absolute gun, good hands, moves quickly, throws well, can throw off balance. That's just one person. Kohli is another freak of nature. You can name. There's the game's changed now. 2020, the last probably 10 years, we've seen fielding go through the roof. You know, it used to be the Jonty Rhodes and the Ricky Ponnings and just a number, and then you have the fast bowlers that are a little bit uncoordinated, a bit unco, and they couldn't do it. But most guys now, like the big fast bowlers, Pat Cummins, he's good in the field. You see guys like Jimmy Anderson now playing Test cricket in one days. That's good in the slips. So fielding has changed, but that's probably a couple of the Indian guys I like.
In our team, I think we have a lot of good fielders. I think Mandeep Singh
Maxwell,
is fantastic.
yeah,
Maxi is fantastic. I mean, Mayank is fantastic. Yep. So yes, there are a lot of fielders. Sorry guys if I've forgotten anybody. Make sure that you feel so well in this IPL that I don't forget you. Somebody said you got hurt while somewhere you were bowling and then you still came back and bowled against India, was it? You were bleeding?
Yeah, that was the 2011 World Cup in India. And I went to field a ball, and the ball, I remember it came off my hand, went up and split. I can't remember. I think it might have been my right eye. Split my eye there, but hey, it's just an eyebrow. The eyebrow is always, you know, you feel like a warrior. You feel like Rocky. You know, when the eye splits open, there's blood everywhere. And I went in, they said, you're going to have to get this stitched. But I said, just put some tape over it. I want to go back out and bowl. I probably shouldn't have went back out because I think it was Yuvraj Singh absolutely towed me up, and India knocked us out of the World Cup. And I went home with, you know, a stitched up eye and, dreams were shattered because we didn't make the final. But hey, that's cricket.
I know, but you guys have made so many finals. I mean, come on, right?
Well, we had to make sure that India got through because, you know, being the host nation, we'll look after you guys. There you go.
Right. Okay. So
if you believe that, good luck.
But like there was a time when you guys were playing, Australia dominated and dominated and dominated, and I think India had to have its time, and you know, and I do feel, this is my personal opinion, guys. So I do think IPL has made a big difference because earlier on there were 11. I mean, there were people vying for the playing 11 in the Indian team, and there were a few people. But now with IPL teams coming in and a lot of local talent coming and learning from international players and being on that platform, 18-year-olds being on platforms with legends, you know, the 100%. Confidence level going up. And I do think like even this IPL, this is again my personal thought, that this IPL would be very interesting because there's some players, they do get a little intimidated by big crowds. So the fact that there are no crowds will make a lot of players kind of play better. And then there are some players that get really pumped when there are crowds, and there'll be no crowds this time.
Yeah,
so
true.
I think part of it is also going to be, the psychology and how you're going to play the game. Because I have seen some players when they're practicing, they are unbelievable. And then when you see them go out and they kind of get a little intimidated by the big
gas
crowd.
it. Yeah. But that's the difference between a true champion. You can play in all different formats, all different conditions. You have to be able to deal with the pressure of the crowd. Or the hardest thing for me was, going from playing a test match in Melbourne with 100,000 people, or close to 100,000 people, and then going back to my grade team, maybe even the weekend after, and there'd be like 5 people at the ground. And it's like, you're still running the same, you've still got the same energy, but you can't feed off that momentum off the crowd. So there will be a difference here this year. But just going back on that point that you said about the Indian Premier League, and I think what makes a really, really good side in the IPL is the fact you've got the overseas players. We know that's a given, but it's a team that have got that real strength of the Indian local players, that new talent coming through. We see every year that there's always someone that steps up. There's always that next young gun stepping up that's been in the Tamil Nadu Premier League or the Karnataka Premier League or wherever it might be. They get to the Indian Premier League, and as you mentioned, they're around guys like Dhoni and Chris Gale and KL Rahul, those types of legends of the game, and they learn so much and they step up. So to me, it's the team that will win this year is a team that's got, of course, the experienced campaigners, but it's that underlying Indian youth coming through, that's going to be the backbone of the team. You know, that's my thoughts on how it'll probably go.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, hence it's called the Indian Premier League, because it's the young Indian players that actually, because the international players already have that exposure. They've seen that stardom.
I actually thought it was the Indian Party League when I first came here in 2008. The IPL, I thought it was the Indian Party League, because you had to go, like, every night you had to go and meet the sponsors. It was like,
I know.
hey, how good is this
so
fun?
glad those parties
it's
are
changed.
over.
It's changed.
They were, yeah, I know those, but those IPL nights in year one were actually, they were torture, at least for me, because there was just so many people and so many things to do, and you had to show up, and if you were tired or if you were sick, you couldn't go. I mean, you had to go. And I mean, part of it was also building the brand, and you know, people don't realize the amount of hard work that went into it, and behind the scenes, the hard work that went into it. And for that, I think Lalit and Shahrukh, I mean, I remember Lalit, Shahrukh and me, we sat up 20 nights just planning as to how things should be. And a lot of times I was like, you know, this is too much. I mean, how are we going to do it all? And part of it, we promoted it like a big movie production. Seriously, because cricket at that point in India was just always so male oriented and a bit boring for people, right? And they were the same players, but the whole concept changed. Of course, it
was the hype. Yeah, it was the hype, and
there was, you know, there was the glamour aspect of it, and I remember those shows they had, and I mean, people always thought that, oh, these guys are having fun, but it was so much work.
You know, you play the game of cricket and you go to bed at 2, you get up at midday. It's perfect. Do it all again. Great fun. You age a lot. 8 weeks is like about 8 months. It feels like when you go home, you're like, geez, get me home and just relax for a bit. But hey, look, I want to go to some of these questions here as well. Now, I want to ask you a question. I know you're a businesswoman, but what does an actress or an actor, because you're called actors now, what do actors do in this sort of pandemic where I guess you can't go and do a lot of different work?
I think this is the time for development. First of all, I think more than actors, as humans, this is the time really to be grateful, to sit at home and think about things you've never thought of, be with your family and really be grateful that you have food and you have a home and you have family. Because, you know, in our fast-paced lives, we even forget to appreciate little things. It's also the time to do things yourself, because there's, I mean, I live in America now and there's really no help. And even though we have somebody, they don't really come anymore during the because of the pandemic. So, but I've always been somebody, because of boarding school and being an army kid, I've always done things for myself. But as a lot of people now are doing things, so it's also appreciating even the help around you, because now you're doing everything. On the work front, I think this is the time for development, where you're reading scripts, you're thinking of the kind of work you want to do, you're catching up with shows you want to watch, so that you know what kind of stuff is in the market, what kind of stuff you would like to do, what kind of stuff you don't want to do. And last but not the least, it's also the time of being positive and working out. Like when this whole thing started, I kind of...
Were you doing Taekwondo, I saw?
Sorry?
You were doing Taekwondo, weren't you? Or some form of martial arts?
Oh, again, I didn't understand what you were saying. I did Aikido. Aikido is, it's Japanese martial arts, yes.
Right.
So I'm training with this guy called Aaron Cohen. I was going to say Aaron Finch. Now that I've come here, I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Aaron Cohen, he's this Israeli
tough.
Sorry, special forces. And, he trained a lot of people in Hollywood, and he was training me. And he was like, you know what, there are a lot of martial arts that have come on film, but Aikido is kind of really special and unique. So maybe you should do that. And it's quite, it was quite an experience. And it's...
So what's it? I know that with Taekwondo, and I'll slow my voice down.
Yes,
Taekwondo,
please.
there's different belt colors. So they start with a white belt, work their way up to a black belt. Is it the same with the one you're learning?
Yes. So
And where are you at?
I'm at white belt because I just started. But I thought it was really amazing. So I was told that I should wash my gi, that what you wear, the white uniform is called gi.
Yeah.
So he said you should wash your gi regularly, but don't wash the belt. And I was like, why? And he said, that's because that's how you became black belts. Like you left your belt. And then years and years went by of practicing. And that's how you became a black belt. And I looked at him and I said, thank you. But I'm such a germaphobe. I'm like, I'll wash my belt.
Yeah. And then just throw a pair of black socks in the wash with it. Come back as a black belt. Go, hello.
Yeah, exactly. So no, but it was a lot of I was doing a lot of these COVID tests even there because I did a shoot and towards the end, and I was doing this practice with him. So there was obviously this fear because I was going to come here and I didn't want to be sick, but he was also. But it was amazing. There's so much discipline, and that's the only thing. Like, when I look back, when I was 20 years old, I never want to be 20 again because I was such an idiot and I had less financial opportunities. I was such a fool. I just had made all the wrong choices. Having said that, the only time I really wish I was 20 is for the recovery for your body, because as you get older, it's so tough to kind of train like that, and that muscle that hurts, you're like and usually it would take you 1 day to recover or half a day to recover. Now it's like 5 days later it's still hurting your arm.
I know.
And you're like, and then you just kind of look at people around you and I'm like, God, if they can do it, so can I. So that's
well, we've actually been training in the corridor, so we're making sure that we're social distancing, and it's almost like we pick a time. We've got Dean Jones and Scotty Storris over here, Graham Swan, Brian Lara. Lara's still in isolation, so he's still in his room. But we've been. I think the corridor lengths here at the Trident's about 65 meters, and I punched out 8.24 k's today running, up and back, a bit like a rat, a rat going up and down the cage. So it's just that's our way to get some fitness in, and it's you have to do what you have to do. It's crazy what you got to do now to. And guys are training in their room doing push-ups and I was going to say chin-ups, but no one's doing chin-ups. What do they call like dips? Doing a chin-up in your room, you're going pretty well. Nothing I can hang on to.
I did the same. I was walking out because I have to clock 12,000 steps a day. But today I did a yoga class on Zoom. I worked out with Yasmin, my trainer, on Zoom.
It's good.
So I did, because by day 5 of quarantine, my head, I was like, oh my God, I was getting so restless. And then for some strange reason, my phone wasn't working. I don't know what happened. Every time I was trying to call somebody, I couldn't get through. And then you start just thinking about all stupid and random things. And I was like, oh my God. And then I just thought about all those people that are sick or are in quarantine alone. And I was like, you know what? Hang in there, guys. I feel for you.
Yeah.
And how just all of us just need to be so much more compassionate and nicer to each other, because life is just so tough right now, right? And I'm just so grateful we have a job and we're working and we're here.
100%. It's almost like we've hit the reset button for a reason. And life is so fast pitched, and it's like fast forward the whole time, and people want technology straight away, and it's like Test match cricket, and then they want to see Indian Premier League because it's all hyped up and fast and super quick. But it's nice sometimes too, just to sort of take a breath back. And I've really enjoyed being at home with the family. Actually, it's been really lovely. And just when you have to stay at home, it's nice. And and then you feel for people that are going through tough times that have got COVID or that we've lost loved ones that have gone through it. That's obviously a terrible time, but you can make what you want to make of isolation, I think. And it's just, as I said, we're doing fitness things, and I even thought about getting my Apple Watch and putting it around one of my dog's legs and just getting my steps up for the day, but wouldn't have worked. Wouldn't have been calibrated.
Are you missing Lana and the kids?
Yeah, look, it's always tough being away from the family, and but like this, I jump on FaceTime probably 2-3 times a day, and there'll be a time where my daughter, she'll be on the iPad and she'll just take me around the house and she'll be showing me different parts of the house and showing me the, it's a beautiful day here in Sydney, Dad, and blah, blah, blah. And then, my little fella would jump on. He's only 1. So, and then they'll drop the phone or they'll drop the iPad and then they'll leave me there for like 10 minutes. And then I'm like, hey, I'm still here. Really? But it's great. It's fun, and so if we didn't have that, I still think back when the guys toured here in, I think it was 86, there was no phones, and, you might make one phone call a week to your family. Might suit some people, but doesn't suit me. I want to call up all the time.
Yeah, me too. So let's
get a lot of questions here. Yeah, I know. Who's my favorite actress? She's on screen. There we go. PZ.
Yeah, Brett, if you ever take another actress's name, I swear I will find you and I will beat you.
I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, isn't it?
Okay. The other questions are, let's all-time favorite. Oh, thank you. Desi.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hello to our friends from Pakistan. I just got that message.
Yep. All across the world. It's great.
To the chat. But guys, you have to ask us the question. If you say just hello and hi, then we're going to say hello and hi. And,
how did you guys meet? That's a good one. How did we meet? Well, we met at the IFA Awards, the Bollywood Awards in Singapore, didn't we?
Yes. And please go ahead.
Do you want to tell the story? Do you want to tell it, or do you want me to tell it?
Well, you can say your side of it. I'll say my side of it. Because I'll say how I found out who you were, and you can say how you found out I was.
You go first. Ladies first.
Okay. So my best friend, Shagun, her son, Adiraj, was a big cricket fan. He used to have this chain around his neck saying Lee. L-E-E, B-L-E-E. And we were just talking one day and he was like, Preity Masi, I'll think you're really cool if you can get me an autograph from Brett Lee. And I was like, who's that? And this is in 2003, I think.
Yeah.
So, right? It is 2003.
Yeah, I think it was 2003, 4, yeah.
Games. I'd watched 3 cricket games. And one of those 3 cricket games was when India won the World Cup, and I was so little, I was sitting on my dad's shoulder. So I basically had watched no cricket. So I didn't know any cricketer. Of course, I knew Sachin Tendulkar, and I knew, but I didn't know any other cricketer. So I said, who's he? And he's like, he's the fastest bowler in the world, and I'm his biggest fan. Please get his autograph if you ever meet him. So I said, okay.
I love his accent. Whereabouts is he from?
He's from here. I mean, he's, what do you mean?
No, I just loved how you did the accent. Sorry, go on.
So, no, and they live in London, but, so when I was there, Andre told me, or somebody said that, you're going to get, Brett Lee is coming here and he is going to be presenting an award or something. And then we are having a get together in the evening and you must come for it. And I was like, who's Brett Lee? And they were like, he's this cricketer. And I was like, oh my God, he's the fast bowler. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, I need an autograph for do you remember? Do you even remember I asked you for an autograph?
Yeah.
You remember that, right? Because they said, you must come to the get-together. And I said, okay. And I was like, hi. And I felt so stupid because I never asked anybody for an autograph for somebody. And I was like, hi, I need an autograph for my nephew. And you were like, yeah, sure. And you kind of gave this autograph. And Adiraj was so excited when he saw it. And I was like, okay. So that's my part of the story.
All right. So my part of the story, and that's very true. And the other part that I saw it was, so I'd been invited to go to the IFA Awards to present the Leading Actress Award, like the big award. I didn't know how big the IPL Awards were. I mean, I've been coming to India since, 1994. Fast forward to 2003. it's almost a decade later. So I understood how big India was and Bollywood, but I didn't understand how many people would watch the IFA Awards. So they asked me to do it. I said, look, yeah, it'd be great. I'll come over and present the, award. It'd be a bit of fun. My brother came over, Shane, as well. So that's going to be good. Make it a bit of a boys trip for a couple of nights. It'd be fun in Singapore. So there was a photo opportunity. They wanted me to go down and meet one of the leading actresses, being you. And so I had to go down. They sat me down at the bottom of the stage, and you're up there doing something on stage, doing some dance act, I think, or something. You're doing something on stage. You're doing like a rehearsal.
A rehearsal, yes.
Yeah. And I'm like looking up because I'm sitting back on the stage. So I've been looking up, and I said to the guy, I said, "That's her in the middle there, right?" Just so I've got the right one. He said, "Yeah, that's her. That's Preity Zinta. That's her. That's okay." I said, "Cool, right." So then you came down, and through someone brought you down, and we had to get a photo together or do something. It was a bit of a promo and all that. Anyway, so fast forward. So now it's a few hours later. I walk out and I'm thinking, all right, it's people everywhere. And someone said before I got out, they said, just letting you know, Brett, this goes out to about 1 billion people. But good luck. Don't get nervous. I'm like, okay, 1 billion people? All right. And I said, and the award for the leading actress are as follows, and up come the nominations. And I said, can you tell me the nominations, right? They said, no, the nominations will be read out. And I said, what do I have to do? Because now I'm panicking. What do I have to do? And they said, oh, you just get the envelope, open it up, and read the name out. I said, well, can you tell me who it is literally before I go on stage? I said, no, it's all a secret. You open it up live. Otherwise, there could be people that will guess who's going to win, and then, it's on me type of thing. So I said, look, I get that. And you're up there, and you're like third to be read out. And the 3 other girls, I could not pronounce their names. I had absolutely zero chance of pronouncing their names. So I'm thinking, please, please, please be Preity Zinta. Please be Preity Zinta, because it's only the name I can pronounce. So I open it up, and I'm nervous and I saw like the replay of it. I said, and the award for the leading actress is Preity Zinta. I'm like, you beauty. And everyone thought I was really happy that you won, but I was just happy that I could just pronounce your name. So that was it. And then
really? Can you just say you were happy that I won and not because you
I was pumped that you won. I was pumped. I was like, you beauty, she's won. No, and then we went back, and then we got invited to go to an after party, and I walk in with the Big B suite, Amitabh Bachchan, and we're sitting with all of the who's who of Bollywood. And I tell this story to people in Australia, my mates in Australia that don't obviously know Bollywood, or they know it, but they don't follow Bollywood. They wouldn't know who Amitabh Bachchan is. And I said, imagine going to a party back then with the equivalent of Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, Sean Connery, the best of the best of the best of the actors. And I said, and here I am, this Farangi, in this room with all these amazing actors. And I said, that was such a great night. And everyone was so lovely. And yeah, that was it. So long story short, that's how we met. There we go.
I know, that was 2000.
Is that about right?
All right, let's look at some other questions. Hello. Dhruv Patel says hello.
Dhruv Patel.
We love you more and more. We love you
Thank
too.
You. I'll read the question, and you can read the names out. Might be easier.
Okay. Rani
and the winner is...
Cannot believe. Ashish Bangar says, what, yaar? Oh, sorry. I'm reading the comments also. Hi, Brett. Can you sing one of Preeti's songs?
See, when they shoved that COVID test down my throat yesterday, it's hurt my vocal cords, so I can't sing tonight, unfortunately.
Did you
any other night? I've had 4 tests.
At your throat?
Yeah, they go down your throat. And look, this is for a great cause. I'm not complaining, right? If it's going to make it safe.
I know, but like for me, it was like both my nostrils. They didn't do it in the throat. I mean, that sounds really
down
weird.
My throat.
Sorry, they didn't do the COVID test in my throat.
Stuck this thing down my throat, and then they get another one, unravel it, and they go up your nose, and it feels like it goes up to your brain. They tickle your brain, right? And they in doing this. So anyone that hasn't had a COVID test done, like if you need to get it done, please. Get it done if you feel like sick. But it's pretty uncomfortable. And I've had 4. And I've got to say too, my co-commentator who I dearly love, Dean Jones, is a legend, right? So we're on this WhatsApp group, and it's the 7th of September, and I knew that I had to have a test on September 11. That was in my test because it was meant to be a week after I've arrived, get through isolation, have a test, do a test on the 11th, do a test on the 14th, and then we'll do another test in a few more days. He texts, goes, hey guys, because he arrived a day earlier than me, you have to go get your COVID test done. It's room such and such. I'm like, okay. I said, no one from Star Sports has sent me the email or the WhatsApp to say that it's doing it. And then Scotty goes, yeah, look, I'm going to go as well. I've just had mine done. So I'm thinking, I don't want to be the one left out here. If I haven't got the message and I don't get a test.
Please, can you talk a little slowly?
If I haven't had the test. If I haven't had the test, then I won't be allowed out after 7 days because you need 2 days for the test to come back as a negative, of course. So I'm thinking I should go and get the test. So I said to Dino, what room is the test? And I was on room level 15, and he said, oh, it's 21, and then you get out of the lift, level 21, go down the end, it's on the right-hand side. Can't miss it. I get down there, got my gloves on, mask, the full, let's see somewhere.
Sorry, pause. There's somebody who sent a message saying, I can't understand Brett. So can you please talk like this, little slowly?
That's just the network. It's just the network. So I wear my gloves, I've got my mask, and I've got my like welding headgear on, you know, my visor. And I go to level 21, which Dean Jones tells me to go to. I knock on this door. Some lady opens up, and she gets a fright because I look like someone out of space, all decked out in the gear, like eyes like this, trying to look through, got the mask on. I said, COVID test, and she says, so I said, mate, where is it? He goes, oh, sorry, it's level 19. So I just gone to some random room, and the lady stood back, so there's social distancing, so there's no issues. But he sent me to some wrong level. Then I went and got the test done, and then we found out I wasn't supposed to get the test done. That was only for the staff. So I had someone jab this thing up my nose halfway to my brain on the 7th, and I didn't have to have it done. So that's my COVID story.
No, so my COVID story is similar. Yesterday,
I saw yours.
No, my COVID story was really great. The lady who did the test was fantastic. She was an South Indian nurse. And I was like, please be nice. Please be gentle.
Machi.
And she was fantastic. And you know what? All the doctors and nurses in the world, thank you so much. But I love the fact that most of them are Indian. And they're fantastic. They have great hands. At the Dubai airport also, the nurse was Indian. She was fantastic. But I was sitting in here, and for some reason, because my food was going to come, I left my door open. I mean, I put the latch on and I left it open so that, you know, they could just come and put the food in. And suddenly this blonde woman walked in, and she's like, hello there. And I went, oh, and I ran out into the balcony because I was like, I'm in quarantine because I didn't want somebody to ruin it for me. And she's like, I'm so sorry, you've come to the wrong room. And I was like,
no.
And I ran out because I was like, I don't want somebody to come in. She just kind of entered and went, hello there. And I was like, she had actually come to the wrong floor. She's like, what room number is this? I was like, you just have to leave. I'm in quarantine. So somebody just said lots of love from Maharashtra, Aurangabad. And
thank you. Likewise.
Then Pora Pukka, I don't know what that means. Then Alok Desai is giving love. Then Shiv Brad Dubey says hello. Rohan says hello. I should become a name reader.
You should be.
Yeah.
I'd rather that than a mind reader.
Durgesh Gupta.
Love from the USA. There we go.
Yeah.
Bangladesh, hello.
Binga the Speedster. The Speedster? Okay. And Favorite TV
Ask some
series?
questions, guys. Mine,
What do you?
Seinfeld.
Okay. Mine. Homeland. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What do you love about each other? I love everything about you.
Thank you.
Perfect answer.
Likewise. No, I think it's great friendship. We've known each other now for, 12 years? Oh, no, sorry, longer. We've been in the IPL for 12 years, but since 2003. So it's been, 17 years, been a long time.
Maybe we should just say 7 years so we both don't sound like such dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, we met when we were about 10, so that's all good.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't really care. I'm just trying to be.
Pretty Miss Pretty. There's a fan of yours,
आपको
PZ.
Bengali आती है? They think, do you know anything in Bengali?
No, but great food.
You can say Kolkata. That's a Bengali word.
Kora bolora bajit pare.
Oh, that's Bengali. Yes.
Yeah. See, my
then,
other heart is sort of KKR as well, but we won't talk about them tonight. This is the King's Lions,
No,
Danny.
that's okay. I don't mind.
We love Shah Rukh Khan. He's a beauty.
Yes. Brettley, where do you get your haircuts from?
Got a guy back in Sydney that just does it for me. So, yeah, I'm a little bit, you don't normally see me with a bit of roughness, but hey, this is a bit like Tom Hanks' Castaway, is it, at the moment? They get the razor out.
Yeah, my beard is also growing.
You probably don't want to say that.
I'm just joking.
I know you are.
To all those people out there who are bored and need humor, I'm just adding humor to the life and saying, my beard.
No, if Andrew's tuned in, he's my wonderful hairdresser, so he does a great job. So thanks, champion.
Andrew?
He's my tennis buddy as well, Andrew.
Oh,
Andrew Stefani.
Somebody sending you love from Melbourne.
Well, could I quickly say on that, PZ, that they're doing it really, really tough in Melbourne. They've been through a horrible second wave of COVID. So we want to send all our love to the guys and girls in Melbourne that are doing it tough. The good news is the death rate has decreased and the amount of cases has decreased as well. So they went through a really tough time. We had a massive spike. The whole place is still in lockdown. I think they're going to change the lockdown laws. I think it's shortly in the next couple of days or so. Go back to a different level. It still won't go back to normal for a long time, but it's just going to be a bit more eased. So yeah, hello to all the people in Melbourne. Stay safe.
Yes, stay safe, everyone who's in Melbourne and all over the world, because there have been spike in cases, and this is especially for the young guys out there, the young kids, the students. A lot of them feel that nothing is going to happen to us, guys. Please wear your masks. Please do maintain social distancing. It makes a big difference. And you can be carriers, you can be asymptomatic, and you can actually hurt your family your grandparents and people who have underlying health issues. So, because not everybody tells you, not everybody tells you that they have underlying health issues. My assistant of 18 years, Prasad, passed away, and I was so shattered.
Said that.
You remember Prasad, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And when you said that the other day, I was mortified. But that like people don't sometimes know, like if there's an underlying issue, like unless someone told me, unless I was tested for a certain, liver or heart or something, then. People don't know they've got an underlying issue until it's either too late or they've had a big scare. So don't think that you're invincible. I mean, I'm 43, but I'm trying to do all the right things and making sure I'm taking care of myself. But even if you're in your late teens or early teens or 20s, make sure that you're doing the right thing.
Yes, because what happens is sometimes it, what do you call it, affects some people really badly, and sometimes it's okay with some people, so you don't really know. So what was I else going to say? Should we answer some more questions?
There we go. Kings 11 Punjab this year. Yes, someone's given a thumbs up.
I hope so. Yes, all the way. And a lot of hearts coming, a lot of love coming. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this chat. I mean, I don't want to go away, but it says 124 remaining on top, and I don't know why it says that. Because is there a
countdown? I don't know. I had to work at it. I had to work out how to get on. I've only done this a couple of times.
So somebody's written, you two are a nice couple. Guys, I want to say it out there. You know, there's nothing more beautiful than friendship. So it's not just with Brett, even with my other actor friends, sometimes, you know, people write, oh, you guys should be a couple. No, we have our soulmates. He has Lana, I have Jean, who we just love dearly.
Yep.
But we also love each other as
100%.
friends. And I think friendship is such a beautiful relationship. So
Agreed.
Learn to accept it and not keep saying you should be a couple, not just to us, but even in general. Otherwise, because it's just like, why? Why can't, like, you know? So just saying. I know both of you love cricket, but what about tennis? Tennis is good.
I like tennis.
Yeah. And being Tejan says, take my name. So hi, we took your name. All right. We have 18 seconds remaining. So Brett, any last comments?
Drum roll. Go the IPL. Wish you luck. Great to see you. Stay safe. Hope.
Okay, can you sing your Mukabla?
Mukabla, Leila. Done.